right, hey y'all, Crystal here, and welcome to my channel, my page, wherever you are listening or watching this at. So I wanted to talk really quick about my skincare regimen that I've implemented and how it is integrated into my beauty regimen with God, which is why this channel is called God's Beauty Regimen. And it's all about the internal work that definitely shows externally. And so this morning I had like this, just through some communication with God, because I just have had a lot going on in my life now. Just so things are happening so fast for me, and like God has did a like complete turnaround in my life, and it's almost happening so fast that my head is like literally spinning, like it says in Amos, right? The book of Amos. And it's sometimes I feel like I have a hard time like kind of processing what's going on in my life. And so I love how God is dealing with me right now. I just love it, because it's like God deals with us individually, right? And so he takes us through like our own processes and things like that. And he's been working on my beauty, like my beauty, inner beauty, outer beauty, how I see myself, how I look at the world, just how I process things. And also he has me like understanding his beauty, like the beauty of God, right? So anyway, let me jump right into it. So as I was doing my skincare routine this morning, one thing that I realized is like I cannot skip steps in this skincare routine. So I got this for Christmas, right? And I have been praying, because my budget had been very, very tight like the last half of the year, last year. And so I have been, like, God, I would love to have like a full beauty routine, a full skincare routine, because I hadn't had that in a while. So I was using, certain products. Like I was using, this is a little mini bottle, but I was using the CeraVe, I think that's how you say it, hydrating facial cleanser. And I was using this and their moisturizer, and that had been working for me for a while. But then I was like, God, I would love to get back to like a full skincare routine, not just a moisturizer and a lotion. But I'm I'm gonna be grateful for it for now until you bless me with that, right? And so I would look every now and then, or try to implement new things, but I was doing it definitely in a budget friendly, type of thing. But I was blessed with the Anua, which is very popular right now, the Anua skincare for Christmas. My sister bought it for me. And so it's a full routine, and I'm super excited about it. And so it has the cleansing oil, the cleansing foam, which is the two products I'm going to talk about today. Then it has the toner, the lotion, and the serum, right? And so God has definitely been using this routine to speak to me about my life. And I'm going to share with you today about these two products right here. And so this is the cleansing oil, and this is the Pore Deep Cleansing Foam. And so my goal was to use this routine every day, right? That was a goal that I set for myself. And so because I'm acclimating myself, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this every day, and I want to do it in the morning and at night. Like I want to implement this routine in a way where I really get the full effects of it. And not only because of that, it's like, oh my God, I got a full routine back, a beauty regimen back. But also I'm like, I want to prep my skin for my wedding, right? Because I'm getting married in literally like 15 days. Oh my gosh, like 2 weeks. I'll be getting married. So I'm like, okay, and I want to make sure I have that wedding skin for sure. So this morning, God was like just showing me how over this past week, because today is Friday, there were a couple nights and days that I skipped the routine, but also the days that I wanted to implement the routine quickly. So say I took a shower early in the morning in between getting my kids together for school, I would skip the cleansing oil after not implementing my routine fully for a couple days, and I would do the cleansing foam. And I would do the cleansing foam, the toner, the lotion, and the serum, and I would skip the deep cleansing, right? And so This morning, I actually got back around to doing the full routine. Now, what caught my attention about this is that the 2 days out of this week that I just did the cleansing foam, I noticed that like my skin was dry, right? Because it's like I would leave home, and then as I get the day started, as I'm driving, I'm like, man, my face feels like it's thirsty. And y'all know how that feels. Like my face feels like it needs some extra moisture. It feels really dry. And so what I noticed is like I only used the cleansing foam. But once I started this routine and I did the cleansing oil and I did the full routine, I was like, wow, my skin just looks brighter. It's glowing. It feels quenched. It just felt great. And so I skipped this for 2 days in a row and I noticed the difference. Now, one thing that I do know after doing research, and I was even doing research about, double cleansing earlier today, because I'm like, let me get some more context, about why double cleansing is necessary and things like that. And so it was very interesting that double cleansing is necessary. Like the oil or molecular water, it says. I'm learning. So the oil gets the surface, right? So it'll begin to like dissolve things. It'll remove some things, like remove that first layer. You've been out all day. Who knows what you've been doing? Maybe you've been wearing makeup, whatever it is that, you need to remove that surface first, right? So this is what the cleansing oil does. And then also when you use the cleansing oil, you have to like emulsify it. So you got to get a little bit of water and foam it up. It's not just the oil and you wash it off, but adding water to this gets it a little milky, right? And then it cleanses and does its job. And that's just removing the first layer. And then you go behind the oil with the cleansing foam, which now removes the things that it gets deeper, like it gets deeper into the pores, because now you've removed that first layer with the cleansing oil. So it's like a 1-2 punch, like getting the job done for you, right? So the Holy Spirit was showing me this morning, like with God, when God is doing a work with us and he's healing us and he's putting us through his cleansing, like his beauty regimen, he needs to double cleanse us, right? And it's not all the time that you have to use this. You may only need to use this a couple times a week, because per my research of double cleansing, I also read that depending on your skin type, depending on what you use on your skin, like if you wear makeup heavily or if you wore makeup for that day, or maybe you just have been out doing a lot, who knows? Like that depends. You're only supposed to use this like a couple times a week. It's not an everyday thing, right? Because if you double cleanse all the time, it can strip your skin and like make you dry, very dry. So the double cleansing is not always necessary. But cleansing is always necessary, because you do want to make sure you remove all of the stuff in your face and the residue. So with God and in his beauty regimen with me, he was like, this is where you're at. You're like going through certain things and I need to double cleanse a few areas, right? So the last 2 years of my life have been very interesting. I mean, the last 5 years has been just like, whew, and I've done a lot of growth. And so what I notice now, especially now that I am preparing to get married again, and then I'm also remarrying who I was married to before, there is a lot of things that God is showing me. And so he's been showing me areas the last 6 months of 2025, and even now as I prep to become a wife again and just deal with some things personally within myself, he's showing me areas that he needs to go double cleanse. Like he was like, you've been here in these areas before, I've cleansed, but now we need to go double cleanse. We need to touch the surface, and we also need to get deeper and up under and to the root of it, up under the pores, up under all that stuff, right? And he was speaking to me about that this morning, that some areas in my life, it requires double cleansing. Some areas don't require double cleansing, right? But some areas in my life right now, it requires double cleansing. And like, it was yesterday, like these past couple of days have been kind of rough for me. Just it's almost like what is happening right now. This is a good example. Is like, I'm so used to like self-sabotaging good things in my life. And so I've been going to God about it, because I'm like, Lord, I don't want to sabotage what you're doing in my life. You have blessed me with so much in 2025, and it ended with a bang that I almost want to run away from it, right? So I've been staying before God about it, because I'm like, I don't want to sabotage. You are teaching me so much in this moment that you are building up my character, and it's very uncomfortable. Like, it feels very dirty, right? And so he wants to double cleanse those areas in my life, because it's like, okay, you need something else now. You can't just go and cleanse this area. Now this is the time, like, for you to come to me to understand what's happening in God's beauty regimen. Like, with God's beautification process and this purification, right? Removing all the impurities, not just, because imagine if I'm dealing with, okay, God, why do I self-sabotage? Like, why do I feel like I want to run away from these good things that are happening in my life? Can you show me, please? And so what I want to keep doing is just cleansing it. And God is like, no, I need to double cleanse it. Like, we got to do a double cleanse here. And this is going to go on for a little bit, because not only are we touching the surface, but we got to also go deep. So let's deal with the surface first, and then we can go deeper. And that kind of, it not took me back to a place, but what he's revealing, he's exposing, right? And so the thing is, imagine like we go on Ulta, Sephora, places like this, and we are looking for specific products. They have consultants walking through the store. They have, the sales associates walking through the store. And of course, we're going to go to them, and this is like, hey, this is my problem that I'm having, and I want to know, what products do you recommend for this problem? So if I'm dealing with blemishes, right? Because I really am. I'm dealing with blemishes a little bit, I guess. And I want to like even out, tone out my skin, figure out why I'm having problem spots. I'm looking in the mirror, but figure out why I'm having problem spots, because I even notice now, like, what stress and all these things have done to my body over these past couple of years, between babies and separation and moving states and just so many changes that has happened in my life, that I noticed my skin, it showed some of the issues externally that I was dealing with internally. So if I go to God, I'm going into, God's, the beauty products, right? I'm going to God for a solution. And I'm just like, Lord, I'm dealing with a few, blemishes here. I noticed that I'm breaking out a little bit. I'm dealing with, like, I got some hyperpigmentation going on over here. I need your help. What's the regimen that I need to address these problems? So God might be like, okay, let's deal with this one first. Let's figure out what is going on, right? And let's talk about everything. Let's talk about all the things that has happened, what's going on, what have you been using, what is working, what's not working internally, what have you been taking in, what have you been eating, what have you been hearing, what's your belief system, like what is going on, so we can deal with this, right? And so then I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with this, I'm dealing with self-sabotage, I feel like I want to, run away from all of these great, amazing blessings that you have blessed me with. Like, you blessed me with a home, I got my husband back, our family is back together, like, you're moving, but why do I feel like I want to run away from all of this? Why do I feel like I can't handle what's going on in my life? What is it? And so God will speak to me, and he'll be like, all right, let's get to the surface. Let's figure out what's going on. So you're going to need, a cleansing oil, right? The oil of God. You're going to need some oil, and let's try that. And then once we, deal with that, then we can do the cleansing foam. Like, let's get a little bit deeper. And so it is very uncomfortable. And obviously when we're dealing with problem areas, sometimes we don't want to be consistent. We don't have the discipline to remain consistent to get the results. But also, you know, the change that comes along with that, it's like I want the results of this nice, clear skin. I want everything gone, but I don't want to discipline myself to be consistent. And then it's like I also skip some days, which is not good at all. Like I can't, no matter what I go through each and every day, it's like I cannot skip, right? So I can't skip going before God. I can't skip spending time with him. I can't skip prayer and reading my word. I can't skip getting wise counsel. I can't skip fasting and praying, which is an area that I have definitely been struggling in. I can't skip consecration, and I'm learning more about consecration right now. And that is something else that's happening. So, you know, the more that I want to run away or, you know, sabotage or whatever the case may be, God is showing me, let's get to the root of this. But we got to start here first before we can get here. We got to start with the oil first, and then we can go double cleanse and do the cleansing foam. So that was the way that God was speaking to me this morning. I love it, y'all. I just love how God is dealing with me in this moment, in this time of my life, because he's also requiring me to like take better care of myself. Because what I'm dealing with internally, it shows externally. And so because I have so many questions for him, it allows me to go to him with my issues for him to give me the products that I need for this regimen. But first, let me go back. I have to have an understanding that I am like doing a regimen with God. Like, do I say yes to the regimen that he's giving me? So just imagine if I say no to the double cleansing. I'm like, I don't want a double cleanse. Can you imagine how much longer that process is going to be for me? Like, so even in that, God is like developing my character, and he's requiring me to renew my mind and trust him and increase my faith and be consistent. Like he's dealing with me in that area of being consistent, which I've never been consistent. You know, I'll be consistent for a little bit, and then I get uncomfortable, or I feel intimidated, or I allow fear or worry or even rejection, y'all. That's something too, to get in the way. And because I didn't really recognize what I was going through, or I was allowing the weapons that were being formed against me to prosper, I would run away. So then what does that mean? I'm quitting the regimen before I even get the results that I want. Because sometimes, y'all, when I wake up in the morning and I'm thinking about, okay, I got 1 hour. I need to shower. I need to dress 3 kids. I need to make sure the other ones get up for school. We got to get downstairs. I got to comb hair. I got to do my own hair. We got to do this. I got to drop this set off to school and come back and take this one to school and all of these things. And oh my God, this one missed the bus. All of this stuff happened this week. And so because of that, I immediately put down something that is very important and that is much needed in my life. Not only did I skip my actual beauty regimen, my products, or I skip steps because I'm trying to rush, but spiritually, I also put down some of the things that God is using right now in my regimen with him, my internal beautification. So maybe skipping out on prayer. Like I told myself that I would wake up, you know, an hour early so I could just sit and meditate and just be quiet before I start moving for the day. I remember when I used to do that years ago, and then like once some real drastic changes happened in my life, it was just hard for me to get back to doing that in the mornings. And so now I know he's dealing with me in that area. And he's like, that time in the morning, like you waking up 4 a.m. to gather yourself and come before me, if that's what you have to do. No, he's not like if that's what you have to do. He's like, that's what I need you to do. And y'all, I've been struggling in that area, but that's a new product, a new thing that he's implementing in my life right now in the regimen to beautify me internally. He's preparing me for the good works, right? The things that he has called me to do. And I can't skip these steps. I can't. So, y'all, I just love the Lord so much. I really do. And I just wanted to share this with y'all because this is truly how God speaks to me. He really does. And he's speaking to me through this. He's showing me like, you know, how to just really seek him as my father, like love him and receive his love. He's like increasing my capacity to receive, and all of these things are changing within me. And he's also saying, you know, like, it's up to you how fast you can get the results. And that's such an important thing to remember. Like, it's really up to me how fast I can get the results. So if I have this full beauty regimen to get some beautiful clear skin, and I also need to implement internal things like eating properly, eliminating sugar, eliminating coffee, y'all. I don't even want to go there. But those are the physical things, and it's the same spiritually. And if I have to start getting up 4 a.m. to devote myself to him, to spend time with him, to hear from him, not skipping prayer, fasting when I'm supposed to, sticking to consecration, all of these things that make me uncomfortable, but it's developing me, it's beautifying me, it's a purification process, and I know the results are going to be beautiful. I can't skip steps. I can't skip the things that I need to do to get to that result. And so if I skip, it slows me down, right? So it's really up to me how fast I want it to go. And I felt the consequence of skipping those things physically and spiritually, because I also realized that because I slacked in the areas of, you know, I didn't get up 4 o'clock every morning, or I may have gotten up 30 minutes before I needed to get up. But I'm like, Lord, I got up. Okay, just I thank you for your grace. But not getting up 4 o'clock in the morning and forcing myself to do that, you know, not putting down the coffee when I know he's like, okay, I need you to like stop drinking this every day. You know, it's not good for you anymore. We're not leaning and depending and, you know, feeling like we can't get through the day without coffee anymore. That is an idol. It's an idol. Your sugar cravings, you know, let's work on that. Let's work on how you eat. Let's work on what you put in your body. Stop grabbing the chocolates and things like that, and go grab some fruit. Just because your body is saying that you want something sweet does not mean that you have to go get chocolate and the kids' snacks and all of these things. Like, go get some fruit. Go eat more. Go eat properly. Nourish yourself internally. It's the same spiritually, because what I put in my body physically is going to show up in my skin. Me not drinking enough water, not taking vitamins, all of these things. So what do you think that the Lord is requiring of me and us spiritually in our beauty regimen with him, right? So with that being said, like I said, because y'all, the more I be like, okay, let me just end it here. But I love God. I love him so much. I love that he has me implementing this beauty regimen with him. And he's like, you know, it's intertwining with my healing and then actual beauty products. I love it. I just love the way that he's speaking to me now. And I just wanted to share that with you, you know, talking about double cleansing and how important it is. And the fact that we have to, like, whatever is showing on the surface, we have to get under that. Like, what's the roots and what's the, like, we're foundational, and we see the surface of it all, which requires the cleansing oil. Let's use that first. And now we can get deeper and get to the root of things, right? That's the cleansing foam. And so in the spirit, that's how we have to do things. We have to, you know, start with the surface with God. And it's like, okay, I see this. What is this? Where is it coming from? Why am I dealing with this? How can I heal from this? God, what do I need to do? And then he'll begin to do the work. But he requires us to do our part and implement his beauty regimen in that. All right. So thank you for watching this video, y'all. I'm going to go now. If this blessed you, if it touched you, if you have a testimony about how God is dealing with you in a whole regimen type of way, if you're familiar with double cleansing and you now realize how it plays a role in your life, like spiritually needing to be double cleansed, let us know in the comments. But go follow me on TikTok. And y'all, I have a podcast too, but the links are in the bio. And thank you for just taking this process with me, going through this beautification, purification process. It's messy. It's really messy. Like right now, I'm like, I have to go record this. I have to go tell my people about this. I mean, as soon as my kids closed their eyes and I knew that they were sleeping for real for nap time. I'm like, okay, let me go record this real quick. So y'all, this is real life. Like, and I just wanna please God with my entire life now. Like, there's nothing else that I want to do. And I understand that God doesn't reject me. He loves me. He loves you. His grace is sufficient. And he just wants to get the glory in all that we do. So until next time, I'll see y'all.